Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are now watching HoNTourSEA Southeast Asia G-League Cycle 3, and yes, this is round 2. I am Babael, with me is Lark. Game 1 definitely went in Imperial, very nice to see that. It was a pretty fast and speedy game, so we hope that game 2 is going to be a little bit different and aMQ would step up for this game, because if it's going to be a clean series, it's going to be pretty devastating for aMQ. Do note that they are only 1 point ahead of both Turtle Master as well as MRR, which if both of these teams win today, they are going to drop out of this top 4 spot, and that means that they may not make playoff for this cycle.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very good point. I didn't even think about that, to be honest. But yeah, too fast, too furious that previous game. Hopefully things slow down a bit, because Impurity Earth, man, wow, that performance just now was just really, really good. Their lane setups were really nice. Their drafting was pretty decent and pretty solid. And you saw there the lucky Dampier, guys. The lucky Dampier. It happened again. He got really lucky at the start when he didn't die, and I think that's a very huge part as to why they had the success. Like, he didn't give off the first blood. Usually in that kind of situation, players might actually panic and be like, oh god, oh god, oh god, and then like suddenly die and give up first blood. You lose out. You have to walk back into lane. You lose the first wave of experience unless maybe you're gonna spend gold for like teleport scroll. So yeah, it's just a very, very good plays there coming up from Puny Earth. aMQ, it looked like there was a slight chance for them when they had a team fight. I think it was at the bottom lane where. Wait, no, actually no, it wasn't the bottom lane. It was in the mid. Sorry, it was in the mid.
You're gonna have to wait for this, man. This is new, and this news is hot. Air quality, rocket air quality. They won Turtle Masters game 1.
What?
So that means that Turtle Masters will not get the 4th spot, even if aMQ loses today. Maybe MR might be in a better spot, but MR, they better just make this work. And that's it. Just gonna talk about this game, particularly game 2 between Impurity of as well as aMQ. Yeah. So we do have the Fate being banned out by doing Reen, as well as Tempest, MOE, and Keeper of the Forest. So that's all 4 heroes nicely banned away, and we're looking at Anduin Reen now gonna pick up the Moon Queen straight up, and that's gonna signal a different strategy coming from Puny Earth.
Yeah, Moon Queen gonna be picked against aMQ. I bet they're really not happy about that. They get the first pick Engineer, so at least they're going for that very strong, very solid and very strong hard support there for the team. But whoa, quick response again there from the Pestilence. So Anduin, man, he had a good game previously, and don't forget, he was 1 versus 2 in that lane, and he still got his bottle, his steam boots very, very early in the game. Even his portal key was fairly alright, the timing he picked it up, seeing as to how his situation was a bit hard because he was versus the 2 heroes there in the middle lane. But yeah, he made work in that game, and there were a couple of missed stuns, but hopefully he'll work on that. And I think it's just maybe a bit of miscalculation, but it's nothing to take away from his awesome play there. So hopefully we'll see a very nice pickup coming from aMQ. They need something that can address this this Moon Queen in the early game. Like, they need, like, if even YOLO it, just pick Dampier for yourselves, and you can actually carry your team if you play it really, really nicely against Legion. If Moon Queen cannot take off and you just steamroll, like you have a level 19 Dampier and Moon Queen still like level 13 or 11, you're gonna win the game hands down, no doubt, unless you just decide to throw constantly. So hopefully they pick up on some really strong early game carries to complement a strong early lineup. Things like a double support.
Magmus.
Okay, Magmus is actually not that bad as well, but he needs a certain amount of farm. I'm not sure what they're gonna decide to do with this Engineer Magmus lane. Are they gonna have even a secondary support? Are they gonna go for jungle? They can still go for a Parasite if they want to. It's not banned off the board yet, and that Parasite can be very, very hectic against a Moon Queen.
Yeah, well, they did have the Magmus this game, and Magmus on own issues. I mean, back in the days when he was in Orange Esports, I do believe that Wang was playing Magmus really well. So that's going to be something that is pretty much, I mean, it's a signal for the viewers that you guys will have a good game to look forward to. So Engineer Magmus, that's a great combo in the mid lane. That's nicely taken care of already. Meanwhile, I mean, just going to do a little bit of a short cross-reference between this game and the previous game. We do note that in the previous game, Impurity they just banned out all the mid lane heroes that they know aMQ plays very well. So Magma's being banned out, and this game they're just a little bit pissed off, because that could be the main reason why they didn't fare very well and had to go for the Behemoth. But now they're gonna go for Magmas in this game, and that's fine. Meanwhile, on the flip side, we got Pestilence as well as Bubbles again. We've seen this success before in game 1. We hope that this success is gonna be going on the same way in game 2. So But the only difference in this particular game is that I do believe the Moon Queen is gonna go to Lucky straight up, and we've seen him play Lucky. Sorry, we've seen him play Moon Queen before, and I think it's pretty much another scary hero that he plays very well.
Yeah, I mean, these are just a couple of few heroes that are just so strong in the hands of a. I wouldn't say like just the person itself. It's also to do with the team. Like if the team backs you up really nicely, gives you space to farm, then of course any hard carry has a lot of presence in the game. It just really depends on that on the team play. And like Impunity Earth in the previous game, you saw how much that Jersey was boxed out into lane that he eventually had to go rotate to his forest, and how quickly the Dampier farmed. It can happen as well with a Moon Queen with that Moon Glaives, but more in the sense of like just stacking the jungle for him. You don't necessarily need to box out the heroes coming out from the laning stage, but just enough for him to pick up on quick items like a Helm of the Dominator into like Steam Boots, and then just a power supply, and just roam all across the jungle, take out all stacks, take out triple stack ancients, use the Helm of the Dominator effect, and capture a creep and stack it yourself if your supports can't do it. So there's a lot of things that they can do. I really like that Hag pickup coming out from Hellborn team. It's gonna synergize really nicely with Magnus and Engineer. What they need to do now is pick for more sustainability and stun presence for the team, because if they rely too much on their ultimates, it will come to a point where they're just gonna get completely crushed, because they're facing against a Moon Queen with supreme high DPS with his auto attacks. You got a Pestilence who just is inherently tanky and has a lot of physical DPS himself. Bubbles is there to lock you in place. So if you screw up the Wombo combo, it's gonna be very hard to take a team fight.
Yeah, you mean on Hellborn, right?
Yes, for Hellborn.
Yeah, so, well, Engineer, Magnus, Russia deck, that's just a little bit greedy coming to this pick, because there's a lot of AoE combo, and that means a quick chunk hit is going to be warranted on Moon Queen. Like, it's not an item that, you can put away anymore. It's something that you definitely need. Bad Blast, Eruption, that alone is enough to kill a Moon Queen, so that's something Lucky needs to take note of. That being said, they know that Team Hellborn haven't really picked a good carry, so they're going to ban away the Super Blade, the Rally, and the Pebbles. That's fine. But aMQ is going to go with the Ophilia and a Luna ban. Wow, that's really targeted ban on against Team Impunity. And we can't say that they didn't do their research, but Ophilia and a Luna, that's heroes for Fur as well as ROM 2. So both of them, we're going to have to find different heroes to play for this game. Torture also going to get banned now, because Torture is a hero that Air plays very well. So Zerg Rush, he knows his stuff. He knows who's playing what on Impunity Earth. He knows the Bubbles is going to Zernatara, Pestilence is going to go to Enduring Green. Only the Moon Queen is going to go to Lucky. So only Fur as well as ROM 2 doesn't have a hero. So he bans out heroes that those two are pretty much well known for. Luna for Fur, and both Ophilia and Torture for ROM 2.
And I think if I'm Impunity Earth, okay, they're gonna go for Glacius actually. I thought they're gonna go for the Pyromancer instead. Pyromancer would be a pretty damn good pickup in my opinion as well. But they're opting to go for that Glacius. There is still that opportunity for Hellborn to pick up that Parasite if they want to, but seeing as to how they picked up Glacius as a response there in the Legion side for the first second picking stage there, I don't think they're really gonna go for the Parasite, because it can get easily locked down with that Glacial Ice Imprisonment. But there are still a lot of alternatives. They definitely need a strong secondary support. I don't know, like even okay, Revenor. Okay, Revenor is a pretty good pickup, but that just means that Magnus is gonna be played in that off lane, I believe, and Hag is gonna be that kind of like that carry for this team.
Yep.
I think that's the only good way that they can lane it. I really don't think Magnus should be played as a secondary support, because against this Legion team, they need aggression, and aggression. And if Magnus is able to pick up early farm, Steam Boots, Bottle, he can roam all across the map, get, once triple stack Ancients, take it out with the first level of Eruption, because usually you kind of use that to pick up an early farm. You can't really take a good team fight if you don't have a portal key with the Magnus. It's kind of hard to, position a stun into Eruption when you have like so many stuns. Like every single hero on the Legion team has a stun, except for Bubbles only at level 6. Okay, a Silence. He still has a Silence, so it's something to counter the Magnus. But yeah, you get my point. Like, it's just so damn hard, but wow, Hammer Storm.
Okay, yeah, that is interesting, but it's gonna be a Lodestone, another hero with a great ulti.
Wow.
Coming in with the Magnus, Dredge Attack, and the Lodestone, that's 3 heroes with a really good amount of pause potential. Oh, sorry, not pause potential.
I just like it
burst potential. Yeah, I don't think it's... I think it's a little bit too greedy. What do you think?
It's very greedy, because right now they're like if they lose out on wombo combo, okay, they have a couple of wombo combos that they can use. They can go Lodestone, Wretched Hag, one combo, and then they can have Engineer and Magnus into one combo, and just have Revenar constantly beating on people in the background, which is something they can do. Like if one wombo combo fails, they still have something to rely on. But just knowing aMQ, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna like blink all 5 into you, and then just use all the spells, quickly take you out, back off, and then reset, and then go in again. But the thing is, they can't really do that with their heroes right now. They can do that in the later stage when Hag and Revenor gets certain and decent amount of farm in the mid to late game, but it's really gonna come down to execution in this laning phase.
Yeah, and again, that's the name of that's something that I always say: execution, execution, execution. You don't execute, you get executed. So we're hoping for aMQ to just know what the hell they're doing when they go into any team fight against ImpE, because if you don't put forth great plays coming with this kind of a greedy lineup, it's not gonna work out once Team Legion has got Shrunken Head, and that by that time that this game is done. So I hope that they just pressure early game, and also because Shrunken Head is an item that you can get by the mid game, they should have pretty relevant, pretty good early game dominance. That being said, gonna introduce this player as well as teams. We do have game 2 well underway here, and that's gonna be between ImpE Earth as well as Anti-Moon Queen. ImpE Earth gonna be on the Legion team, and we do have the captain, the drafter, Andrew Reen. He's also known as Trinity in previous times, and he's gonna be playing the Pestilence. Zarina Tara, that's the captain, that's Ron, and he's gonna be onto the Bowels in the offlane. Also, we do go Fur, and that's gonna be the support Glacius. Rom 2 gonna be playing as Hammerstorm, and last but not least, Lucky is gonna be your favorite sexy Moon Queen. So that's the carry, by the way. And on Team Hellborn, we got aMQ, and they're really pissed off right now because Legion picked up Moon Queen, and they're here to show that they are really anti-Moon Queen, as the name suggests. So Zerg Rush, Captain Drafter, he's gonna be your Lodestone. We have Dub Feeder, and that's gonna be the short lane. He's gonna be the Hag, and we got Revenor, Roy, or Royari, and he's gonna be your Revenor. That's a ton of a tongue twister. Sok is gonna be your Engineer. Last but not least, we got Onesh Juice, also known as Wang. Previously, he also was known as Sylvanas, and now he's Onesh Juice. Can't really make up his mind, but he is gonna be your Magnus.
Yeah, I haven't addressed this Hammerstorm issue just yet, and I think that it's a risky play, in my opinion, but they're gonna go for a straight up tri-lane, so it will work, because Hammerstorm is one of those heroes with a long range stun. It's like a projectile stun there, and it deals a lot of damage at the early start, and it gets a nice radius in terms of like stunning, so they're gonna go for a straight up try versus try here. Oh god, here we go.
Yep, a nice stun's gonna connect quickly. Keg also gonna connect, and Fur is gonna give it a bloodlust very soon, and there goes the Glacius. He goes down really quickly, and the ward also gonna get dewarded, so I think he placed the ward slightly too early, and by himself, I mean, this is not a perfect situation for him, but it's gonna be slight amount of experience advantage for the team. Hellborn ready. The Keg is also again gonna connect, but Ball Lightning from Revenor is a skill that's pretty hard to use, really. And I mean, it does pass through Crypt, so that's the good thing about it. But other than that, it means that he also can have a good time. But if you leave Andrew Reen against a Magnus in mid lane, that would be a really good recipe for a good show. And I hope that whoever wins this lane will win it very well. Magnus, as you can see, has already added the Volcanic Touch, and that's gonna mean that Andrew Reen doesn't have much farming space because he is, after all, a melee hero.
Yeah, he's gonna take a lot of harass from that, but already you can see that he has lane control. Oh, he actually misses a couple of seasons right there. Hopefully he doesn't miss anymore, because that's very, very important that he doesn't. Bottom lane, it seems like it's not gonna be a tri-lane anymore. They know that just sending the Glacius there, he's just such a liable target. If a Ball Lightning hits, he's gonna die straight away, and they don't want that to happen. And I see this being picked up a lot more and more often onto a lot of these range heroes. They go for hatchets, and I really dislike that item on these range carries. Like, just going for more stats would be all that much more better, because if you think about it, if an engineer gets a beautiful kickstun off into a Ball Lightning and then a Lodestone Rocket Drill, you're gonna die, and your hatchet's not gonna save you. Maybe a couple of stats more, you can run a bit, juke through the trees, eat a potion for that final auto attack, and you should be fine, because they're facing against double melee and one range, although that range is pretty far. But yeah, look at this. Hammerstorm gonna run into Magnus right now.
Yep, Hammerstorm gonna say hi to Magnus, and Magnus just came from the middle lane. He does have the haste, so he's gonna be fine. And even the Hammerstorm is gonna be given pardon or mercy in this particular game. So we're just looking at Moon Queen. Now, gonna get a little bit of farm. He doesn't have the best of farms, only 4 creep kill. But that's the power of a tri-lane against a Moon Queen. If he is able to win this, that would really be devastating for aMQ. But if he doesn't, then maybe aMQ has got a little bit of a slight advantage going into the mid game, as we mentioned before.
Definitely. And you look at Hammerstone. Hammerstone, I really like this Hammerstone, by the way. It's such a huge hammer. He's gonna die here right now.
Yep, he is, and there we go. Hammerstorm now is going to get chain stunned by the Keg as well as the ball lining, and in fact, the last stun by himself. Nice to see the aMQ are all going to nicely just disperse away just so that the stun doesn't hit on all 3 of them. And Losto picks up the kill, so that's very nice to see. And Moon Queen now doesn't have the best of form. Unlike the previous game, it's going to be pretty much controlled for the early part of this game.
Yeah, this tri-lane is really working to effectiveness now for Hellborn. It's actually surprisingly working really, really well because they're shutting down Moon Queen's farm, they're killing off. They got a first blood as well, by the way, and they're killing off this Hammerstorm, who isn't really like the best hero in lane, unless you have a solid tri-lane there, and that's one of the biggest reasons as to why I said I don't really agree with the Hammerstorm pickup. You need to make sure that your tri-lane is going to work if you want to pick him up, unless you want him to be in that middle lane, then that's fairly alright, but yeah, it's not that case. So you see already, Hellborn team is going to get the advantage bottom lane. Revenor is going to be able to pick up on so much farm. And
I'm gonna say this now. aMQ will be looking really strong in the mid game. Why? Because all 3 tri-lane are already level 3, number 1, number 2. Legion has completely abandoned the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, there is no point because Moon Queen knows he's gonna get crushed. If he goes out one time, gets caught up by any skill, he is dead. He is as good as dead. He is only sitting at station with 606 HP. Hammerstorm can't do anything, doesn't have a range harass. If he goes in lane, he dies as well. So there's a lot of things that is coming into factor now for Impunity Earth, and it seems like it's really cracking on them. Because the rotation, you see rotation coming out already from Hellborn, they're doing so well. And by the way, this is a Zergrush support, so it seems like he's gonna go for the more of like the secondary, and this time around Salt is gonna be playing the engineer. So that's very, very interesting change of roles over there. But yeah, Revenor already having free lane, and that's not what you wanna have happen, because if he picks up on the early portal key or even like a Sanitarius, he's gonna do a heck a load of damage when he finds the space to gank.
Yeah, previous game it was Shurya that was playing, rather Roy that was playing as the carry, right?
Yeah, he was the carry.
Yeah, so I do believe the aMQ is playing a different strategy because normally you have CY playing as the carry. Ever since Spiky Melon left, he's filling in those shoes. But I do believe they were being a little bit greedy by giving CY back his long lane, where he didn't really have a good job either way. But I mean, CY used to play Suicide, and that's where he really shined. But ever since they lack a carry, he was forced to go back to the carry role. So now they're gonna have to relegate CY back to that carry role, just because they don't have anyone else that could possibly do a better job than he. So 4 minutes is going to be up soon, and top lane now, a little bit of a gank potential from Andrew. That's the Pestilence, but this Hag has got a Flash of Darkness, and that's going to be 1 point into it, so it's 12 seconds flash there, so that's fine. Meanwhile, Moon Queen's going to show his face down south, and that's very stealthily nice of her, but she might actually meet up with these Hellborn Renegades there, both the Lodestone as well as the Engineer.
He's going to die.
Yeah,
he's going to die if he's not careful.
There we go. Rocket Joe's going to be in play quickly. Sidestep does help him a lot, and he's going to be pretty effective. In fact, a second sidestep, so he's just dodging all the skills from Hellborn. What the hell just happened there? Really?
What? Wow, a top lane, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Meanwhile, Head goes down.
That's... what? I'm at a loss for words. That was insane. That was insane joking coming out from Lucky. Holy... Like, he is the epitome of luck right there. Maybe not luck.
No,
that
it's
was
not luck.
Pure
That's
skill.
skill.
Yeah, he juked, like he went right, and then he like found a looking cranny, went that side, and oh my god, that was really nice.
The moment that Kek landed there, moved the other side, turret came up, jumped out of the forest.
Yeah, it's just really, really well played. That's good. That's really good for them because he doesn't feed a kill. He's still alive. Yes, it doesn't.
Oh, middle lane now. Trinity a lot of trouble. Even the eruption is gonna be in play, but it's gonna get stopped by the Hammerstorm's Hammer Throw. So yes, Magma is now in a lot of trouble. Maybe they get a kill on this. If the Gore goes off, yes, it does goes off. Maybe the Impale also, but not enough mana on Andrew Irene. In fact, it's gonna be now. So yes, it's gonna be in fact. But here comes Revenor, and things just got really bad for MPDF. In fact, now Andrew Irene looking in a lot of trouble, but maybe in fact a second Gore. Yes, they get a kill somehow. And now Zergrush is gonna face up against the Storm. That's gonna reduce his armor by a lot. Ball lightning gonna be played, and Revenor with the Storm. Blade is gonna look for a kill onto the Pestilence, but it doesn't get it done just yet. And maybe even a Gore again, they get a kill.
Wow.
That's 2 kills in full effect. Really big play.
That really big play coming from Impunity Earth. That amount of teamwork that's how a team should play. Like, they had all faith in each other. They were like, guys, I got this, I bet you. They were like, probably screaming at Sky, guys, help me! And you know, Stuns came out. He was like, God, the big plays there, and just turned around. Really nicely played.
They probably scream, "Stop the Magnus, please."
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's like, guys, kill him, get him off my butt for now, for God's sake. But yeah, really well played by them. They pick up a lot of kills from that, and that boosts the middle lane player that much more. So you look at him, he's not very close to, like he's nowhere close to his portal key, but at least he's finished up steam boots as well as that bottle, so he can still always rotate if he wants to. And because of that previous team fight, Hammerstorm's already level 5. So that's a huge process there, and Bubbles made good use of the kelp field already. So that's already a good gang coming out from who's this guy again that plays Bubbles? I keep forgetting him. Air?
That's Ron.
Okay, Ron, yeah. So good plays by Ron over there. And top lane, you see, he's already Moon Queen.
Moon Queen gotta be really careful there. Rocket Drill, but hits nothing again. And it's something that ImpE is just very familiar with right now. They just know how to sidestep away the Rocket Drill. But meanwhile, middle lane, a little bit of an engagement there, but it's fine. And bottom lane, they decided to play Zarina Tarahan, and this is something that I like to comment about Team ImpE. It's something that I feel that they are smart in doing. They just decide to rotate. You know, since we can't do the tri lane down south, we might as well do it at the tri lane, and that's the top lane. So that's really effective, and that will force the tri lane and the bottom lane to just break apart. And since it's a bubbles, he's got a lot more escape mechanism. He does also have got range attack, so that means that he's gonna have a lot of space to farm, and that he can also control that Revenant because he did fairly well in the middle, as in the early game in the top lane. So now he's already a level 8. Meanwhile, Revenant only a level 5. And Lucky, although at level 5, he's only have to face off with a level 6 stretch attack. So that's really good in favor of Team ImpE right now. The laning.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom lane now, it seems like a little bit of a backup coming out for Team aMQ, and maybe the bubbles is going to make Subo, but here comes the big hammer throw. It lets a stun on the Magnus, and Revenant just last minute sidestepping it away, but it doesn't mean they can get a kill, so that's a little bit regrettable.
Very clutch play by Hammerstorm. If he wasn't there, Bubbles would have definitely died. Really nicely played. And it seems like aMQ, they actually played it pretty decently themselves as well, but Magnus got caught up from the kelp field, and that was just good map awareness and game presence.
Oh, tried to sidestep, didn't get it done there. Turret's also going to be in play here, but Magnus doesn't want to come into this kill because he knows that Pestilence is a strength hero and it's pretty much tanky. That's about 860-70 in fact, plus health points, and that is something that, you know, is in favor of Pestilence. So, I mean, nowadays you see a lot of Pestilence being in play, and it seems like if you know what you're doing with Pestilence, it's not a bag of hero after all.
Yeah, I mean, certain teams, they try to run it, but they don't be as aggressive as you really need to be, because Pestilence is one of those heroes you don't want to farm on. You want to set ganks up. You want to be very active in that early start of the game. Like you just imagine him like a Pebbles, but not with as much burst damage, but more like sustainable damage. That's kind of like what Pestilence is. He has the roaming potential with the flight, the very awesome impale stun, which, you know, synergizes really nicely
ball
with
lightning
this
down south. Zarina Stormblade's gonna be in play here. He's gonna use the Song of the Sea. Does he have any support? But there is no ROM 2 this time around. Doesn't matter because the Kelpfield is gonna be played again, and Revenant now looking around the way, but the Kelpfield is not gonna make. He's gonna make sure that he doesn't, you know, doesn't get a kill anyway because Kelpfield's already being used. So Zergar's actually gonna have to time out there. It seems like aMQ is lagging this game, and that's pretty regrettable.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Just probably the net and some stuff like that. But yeah, Hag, because of him fighting against the bubbles at the top lane, he opted to go for more of the HoN build. That's why you see the 2 levels in HoN, and he has nothing in Bat Blast, and that's a huge thing because not having Bat Blast means he can't really rotate around and set up a gank with the rest of his team. It's like all you really need is like a beautiful Magnus stun into a keg into like a Bat Blast. That's to like pick up a kill onto any of these heroes on coming from the Legion team. Even Bubbles could die if you play it really nicely and position yourself very nicely as well.
Yeah, and that's something that I believe that both of them needs to do. Hang on, let me just have a little bit. Yep, so that's it. Well, Hag now, it doesn't have the Bat Blast like I mentioned, and that means that it doesn't have a lot of ganking potential, and that's pretty scary coming from the Hag. Now it does have 1 point in Bat Blast, finally hitting level 8 already, but Glacier's only level 4, and 4 in this game, having the raid boost is a huge accomplishment for the support hero because he doesn't have much space to farm, considering the fact that he was boxed out of the entire bottom lane tri-lane gang concept. So that's fine. He should be here with Pestilence to try and get a little bit more experience onto this triple stack Ancients, but he doesn't want to come and snatch up the experience, so that's again respectable. The only problem is that Glacius doesn't really need level 6 even, because even with level 6, Glacier Downpour is not something that is very much a skill that, you know, can be pretty useful in any team
bottom
fight.
lane.
Yeah, bottom lane is going to be fine. Moon Queen now is going to get caught out there by the Revenant, but Revenant doesn't get anything done with the Stormblade's activated. He's going to waste it, but that's okay.
That was really close. So I think, yeah, I think Revenant is wasting a lot of time. He's still giving the kills to Moon Queen. Moon Queen doesn't need to worry at all. I don't think he's going to hit. Oh, this could be very
Ball
dangerous.
lightning, no, sidestep, in fact, just very nicely doing it. But here comes the Lodestone, and it does have the Striders. Rocket, what is it doing there?
Wow. What? Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's the lag probably, maybe
Yeah,
even
it has
the
to
lag
be the lag.
is really affecting Zergwish and his game. He's not having the best rocket drills in this game. He hasn't connected a single one just yet, except for the one at the start of the game. So it's really regrettable that that's not happening. Bottom lane, Revenor, he only has Mystic Vestments and Bottles, so very, very far behind being the carry player of his team. He is at least sitting at 300 gold per minute, so I think he has a couple of gold in the bank
Oh,
and
wow.
probably purchase something. Not sure what it is.
Rush has got 123 ping.
Seriously? Let me check.
Yeah, 123 ping.
Wow, that's
playing with
unfortunate.
that,
But
yeah.
I don't think that says lag, to be honest. I've played on worse, like
Yeah,
70.
yeah. I'm not sure if that causes the lag, but that's slightly higher than the rest, and it could be a main reason. I mean, in games like this, you know, you're gonna have the best connection and stuff like that. That's really sad to see that he doesn't have that. Kek is gonna connect onto the Pestilence, but it doesn't really do much of a thing there. Storm is gonna be used on the Magnus. Magnus is gonna get spotted out. Meanwhile, Moon Queen is gonna be farming the NC. She's gonna be fine. And we're looking at Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm this game is just really throwing the hammer, and that's all he really is doing. You know, there's nothing much that he could really be doing either. He just has 1 point to the ulti, so that's fine. And sidestepping the Kek again is Anduirine. He's not gonna land the Impale because he knows that no one's there. He's gonna use the Swarm again. It's such a spammable ulti, really. It just gives you a lot of benefits, such as possible. Let me just check. 6 armor reduction, as well as 6 armor is a lot, and that is gonna make engineer's armor into negative 1.6, and that's a lot, really. It's gonna make sure that he's gonna be dealing the full amount of damage whatever that goes this way, and that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and plus also coupled with the fact that you have uphill vision with that Swarm at night, so it's just really good to just constantly apply it. Even if you want to play it onto like the Hell Cannon, the siege units coming up, because it actually does affect it. Plus also, usually they're so far behind that you can actually spot out a hero using that Swarm ability. So there's a lot of things to work with the Pestilence, and Pestilence, he got picked up more and more because before this, he actually had very, very good ganking potential, but the problem was that his spells didn't really, like, they didn't complement each other as much as you'd really like, because the Swarm, not the Swarm, sorry, the Impale was magical. Oh, they might set up a gank bottom. Portal key already on Pestilence, by the way.
Yep. Pestilence now newly joining in with the Glacius as the Moon Queen, looking for a little bit of a kill potential on the Hellborn team, but not jumping in just there, just baiting it out, waiting, really patient. Patience is the name of Hellborn, as in Legion's game right now. And I mean, Zergrush is gonna be behind there and just dancing around with a cute little wheel, but he doesn't really get anything done. And here comes the Moon Queen. Is he gonna pop the Moon Finale? Yes, he is gonna do that, and that's gonna mean a kill, easy kill on the Lodestone. He's not gonna go in for extra kill because that means that there is no more ulti on his Moon Queen, but he does want to try and catch someone at least. And maybe if he used a Moonbeam, he could actually slow down Revenant a bit. And there we go. Calphil is going to connect ultimately, and that means that Revenant is going to be a lot of trouble. And they're just going to Omnum 80 out really nicely. But a bad blast. Where is it? They're not going to use the bad blast. They're just like, I'm just going to back away.
Yeah, I mean, this he can't do anything. Like, even if he bad blasted there, there's
it wouldn't
no
really be in effect. Yeah, but at least the bad blast is going to be. I mean, it would have been at least utilized. I was expecting it already, but there is just no bad blast.
Magnus is
one of those
so
moments
far
that you just thought that it's one of those moments you thought you got like money in your bank and you use your ATM to pay. Then you realize that, oh shit, you don't have money in your bank left. And you're stuck at a restaurant with a $100 bill.
That's
What the hell, team?
It's a really weird analogy, but okay, we'll work with that. Yeah, coming back to my point about Magnus, he's so far away from Portal Key. He's only at 800 gold and just really trundling behind this Pestilence. And Revenor, he's at least at 1.6k. I'm not sure if he's gonna go for the Portal Key just yet. Having that pure initiation with that Magnus could be actually very, very strong, but he needs to pick up on a shrunken hit right after that. Unless he's deciding to go for more of the carry route, then he'll go for something like an Sanitarius, and then maybe into a Portal Key.
Yep.
We'll just have to see what he's gonna go for. It's kind of like Rivenor is just one of those heroes you can't really tell what the best item build is for him just yet. It really depends on the situation. But it looks like they're gonna be able to take triple stack Ancient soon, so this should at least boost up the farm for Magmus in picking up his portal key. They actually missed that.
Yeah, portal key is gonna get picked up on the bubbles anyway, so sorry for that. And it seems like they're gonna have a little bit of game potential right now. And there we go, Rush Attack is gonna get stunned. Maybe a gore, but no, the Pestilence doesn't have the extra help there. But here comes the bubbles. Doesn't land there, so that's again a little bit regrettable, but that should be okay. Now Bubbles is gonna face off against Revenor, and Stoneblades is gonna make sure his health point just drop all the way down to half points. And meanwhile, Anduin Reen is gonna pick up the kill on Zugrush nonetheless, and that is not a hack, but that lodestone. And now we go. The rest of this team members is gonna come in, and Zarina Tara is gonna get stunned by the Magmas very soon. As in very quickly, and he's gonna be fine. The Hammer Throw is gonna be played also. That's fine. And 6 minutes into 2. Sorry, 6 minutes. 16 minutes and 6 is to 2. And I mean, what is going on here? We are looking at Impunity Earth dominating this early game, even well into the mid game. Maybe they need to make sure that aMQ knows how to just nicely chain up the ulti and show us a big wombo combo, because right now there's nothing going in your favor. Magmas goes in for a good stun. Lucky is in a lot of trouble. He just pops the Moon Finale, and that means the Hack's in a lot of trouble, but no kill there just yet. And Rocket Drill is gonna connect, and Hit Smash also. Now Lucky is gonna go down. Let's pop the Energizer a little tad too late there.
Yeah, it's a good kill for them. Moon Finale was wasted, and I don't think they're gonna pick up a kill just yet. Hammerstorm is so far, but here we go.
Oh, there we go. Magmus is in a lot of trouble there. Magmus is gonna face off against the Pestilence, but he just decides to suicide the NC. Oh, may not be so. That's fine. Meanwhile, nice stun there from the Hammer Storm onto the Revenor. Revenor now does a full health point, and if he does use the Stormblade and Ball Lightning, this would be a kill onto Rom2. But wait a minute, because the rest of Team Legion is gonna be in the vicinity there, and they're gonna be able to just pick up the kill onto Roy, playing as the big Revenor. Meanwhile, here comes the Hack, and Hack's gonna be looking for a Bad Blast spot, but it doesn't get any because there is no Bad Blast. That's gonna be on cooldown, and it's a little bit regrettable, but so far aMQ is not in the best of spot. They have Eruption on the Magmas, and that's about it. They also have Shadow Storm that we have not seen a single time since the start of this game, and it's on the level 7 Zug Rush. 18 minutes already up, but doesn't get anything of the sort done yet. There's also a double stack, or rather triple stack Ancient, and they're just gonna nicely mop it up.
Yeah, Impunity Earth is playing this really great, man. They have all the items that they want to take team fights. You see there again that flawless teamwork coming in. Although I wish that they actually denied the Hammerstorm before feeding the kill to Hag. He at least got one more auto attack in with his ultimate, so like he expended as much as he could in that previous team fight, so it would have been just great if they just killed them off over there, like at least at bubbles or something. But yeah, either way, they at least pick up the turnaround kills on all the advancements coming from Hellborn team. So it just seems like Hellborn can find the footing to really take a gank onto this Legion team, and this is just really unfortunate because they're just losing out so much. They're so far behind. You look at Hag, he's gonna go for Grimoire of Power, and I think that's the only route that he can go for before picking up the Shrunken Head, because there's not enough burst potential coming up from this Hellborn team right now. At least some signs of life for them is that the fact that Magmus does have a portal key now, and he's gonna go top lane and try to set up a gank.
Yep, so top lane is pretty fine. I mean, all three of aMQ is going to be here. 19 minutes going to be up, and 3k goal lead only. But it seems like this team has got a lot of trouble. Hold that all because Zernatara is going to get bursted out and make soup off again by aMQ. And Zernatara does have a total of only 1 death. That's the first death for this entire game. That's very respectable. But 8 is to 5 here. They can't afford to give up as much of their lead that they have. Whatever lead that they have got in this game. Pestilence goes in for a nice stun on the Engineer. Sock expecting it, but Sock is going to be gone. Kek is not going to connect onto that, even onto that Pestilence. And we do see that Air, or rather known as Rom2, is going to be able to nicely try and push there. What happened there, Lar?
Wow, Glacius survived at the bottom lane on a bare amount of HP. Moon Queen came in and just supported him. Look at Glacius, man, he was about to die. That one more auto attack from Revenor and he would have died. But yeah, just really nice support in by who is it, Moon Queen, and then follow up from Glacius, and he might die now. Oh, okay, here she ports away. So he has a portal key.
Yeah, Pestilence is gonna give chase there onto Revenor. Ball Lightning is gonna be used, but he's just gonna fall back because it's too close to the tower, and there's no point overextending there. There might be Homecoming Stone being channeled if he does pursue the Mara there. So that's fine, he's just gonna pull back. And meanwhile, the bottom lane is gonna be challenged by the Moon Queen. He's gonna go down also. And Legion is gonna get that one done. So about 20 minutes in here, 9 is to 5, and 4.5k goal lead for Team Legion. And that's really scary. But Impunity of Death managed to at least secure most of this early game. Or the early game is done. We're just looking at the mid game right now. The mid game. And in the mid game, really, I mean, there's a lot of wombo combo coming from the Hellborn team, and Moon Queen doesn't look like she's gonna go for the Shrunken Head really soon. She does have got 1.6k gold in the bank. I would advocate that she goes for that really soon. Also, the fact that she's gonna die. There's nice stun by the Magmas. Also, ball line is gonna be played here, and she's gonna be looking around away. But again, the lack of wards is the main problem, or rather, it just got dewatered by Sock. So.
Yeah, and they have a lot of portal keys. They have portal key in Revenor and Magmas. So it's just what I was talking about earlier. They have the initiation potential. Like when you see Magmas come in, you know that there's going to be a Revenor follow-up. So you can't really be that far out. He should definitely go for a Shrunken Head before doing anything. I mean, buying anything else. Even like a Firebrand, or even the components for a Firebrand. He should just straight up get a Shrunken Head because he needs to be able to stand in team fights. The Hellborn team is forcing that aggression already as we speak. So if he has the defensive capabilities, he'll be able to survive all of that onslaught. Then it will translate to him picking up farm, not dying, saving that gold, and oh shit, man, Pistons might actually die here. That was actually kind of scary.
Bubbles is looking to be a little troubled. Bubbles now gonna get stunned by the Magmas, and even the Babael is gonna be played here, and Zeratar is gonna give up a kill again, a death again. And that is 2 minutes gonna be up, and that was 2 kills by aMQ in the last few minutes. And really, I think that the name of this game right now is, can the Moon Queen get a Shrunken Head before the rest of this team just keep going down? And can aMQ shut down the Moon Queen on the Shrunken Head before she gets it? Because if she gets it, this game would be able to last past the 40-minute mark. But before that, if they are able to shut down Moon Queen on numerous accounts, then maybe they've got a shot at this game. Because now they just walk into their own prime.
Yeah, and I mean, you see, okay, you look at Hellborn team. They're gonna force again aggression in middle lane. They should definitely be able to take this tier 1 at the mid.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Glacius can't do anything now, but at least some signs of life for Legion is that Pestilence has that Shrunken Head, so he's gonna be all up in the faces of a Hellborn team, just running around, using his Impale, throwing out the Swarm, getting up in your face, forcing you to back off.
Here comes the Pestilence. Speaking of that, here comes the granddaddy of them all, but will not get anything done because they also got Portal Key on the Hellborn team. So it's gonna be pretty much fine, and the Swarm doesn't cancel Portal Key, so that's a little sad to see. I would definitely want to see that buff happening to Pestilence if it does happen.
That's insane. No, that's too overpowered in my opinion.
No, it would not be too overpowered. I mean, it would cancel for as in the moment it's being channeled, but it doesn't have continuous cancel. That's too OP. But as in just the moment the first bite on the Swarm, yeah, that should cancel TP. As in Portal Key, PK, sorry.
What? Nah, I still think that's pretty damn OP in my opinion. That's insane. That's insane.
That's gonna be fun and
that
wild.
just means that Pestilence gonna be picked up almost every single game. Yeah,
no,
I'm calling it now. But yeah, Engineer should be very careful. They don't have a ward there at the Hellborn camp. Oh, look at Lodestone. He is too ballsy right now. He does at least have a Astrolabe on himself, so he should be able to heal the rest of his teammates. He doesn't have a Mystic Vestments yet. He should definitely pick that up for himself if he wants to be tanky. But here we go.
Goes in, spots out the Magnus. Swarm's gonna be used here, and even a Hammer Throw is gonna come in, and yes, that's gonna mean a kill on the Magnus really soon. Even using the ulti is ROM2 there, so that's gonna be fine. Moon Queen also in the vicinity, and they may be looking at a push here, but I wouldn't really advise that. I would just say that maybe regain a bit of map control, go in for extra fun potential maybe, and maybe just go up all the way to the top lane here and try and push down this top tier 1. But a nice side step by Zeratar, and that means that Lodestone doesn't get a kill onto this Bubbles just yet. And Bubbles looking for a little bit of support from the rest of his teammates, but again, that kill, the burst potential is just too much, and Pestilence a little bit out of range there. That's gonna land the stun ultimately on the Lodestone as well as Revenor. He just goes in, it's gonna turn his Shrunken Head on right about now. Here comes the Moon Queen. This does have the Moon Finale being used there. Also, Pestilence doesn't really care about this energy field, but it doesn't just go in for extra chase potential onto the Revenor. They're just looking to try and cancel out the tower denied, but it didn't get done. And now gonna be forcing themselves to run away. Even Striders from Engineer is gonna be now, so that's gonna be okay. And Pestilence, man, is just still giving chase, and might be overextending already, but he knows that, and he's gonna fall back.
That's just oh, did I just see a... Okay, so Hammerstorm's going for a straight up Shrunken Head. Wow, okay, that's very interesting to me because I actually thought he was gonna go for a Portal Key and have that much more initiation together with like Pestilence. Like, can you imagine how scary it is when you see a bug right up in your face, throwing out a Swarm, and then you see a hammer flying right on top.
The next thing you know, hammer hits your face.
Yeah, exactly. Like he'll be smacking you in. Like the synergy is actually there. Like the brute strength is gonna deal so much damage when the Swarm is afflicted onto these Hellborn heroes, and a lot of them are very squishy. Like Magmas, Engineer, not Revenor, Hag, and Lodestone are quite squishy in this game. Seeing as to how Lodestone is kind of less played into the secondary support role. So that's just really, really good for him. Moon Queen, good thing he's gonna go for the Shrunken Head already. I think he has it finished. Yes, he has it finished and he's sending it to himself. So that's
he has it finished.
very, very big.
Yep, in just 4 minutes, man, Lucky just got... I wonder where he got all those money from, but I do believe it's from the 1 kill as well as the 2 assists, plus a little bit more fun. But that's really ridiculous, because last we checked, he does have only got enough as a 1.4k goal when he last died at the same spot in his Legion jungle. And that was about 20 minutes up in his game. But in 6 minutes, the Shrunken Head is... Okay, it's achievable, but that's big. With 800 gold in the bank, I don't think that's normal. He does have about 400 GPM already.
Yeah, he's just really... It also comes back to the point that he has been... well, actually, I'm not too sure.
I think he's been playing triple stack Ancients.
Yeah, he's mostly triple stack Ancients, and the thing is, I would like to see his teammates at least try to get 1 or 2 hard camps triple stacked as well. That will help out a lot more, and hopefully Moon Queen would actually use the Helmet Dominator, because he's not using it right now. I've noticed he doesn't have a creep that he uses to kind of like micro it and pick up kills, but here we go middle lane.
Yeah, middle lane, nice little stun's gonna happen here. Pestilence might be going up, but a clutch Shrunken Head doesn't help him though. He's still gonna go down nonetheless, and that's a domination streak already, so that means there's gonna be 558 gold for Team Hellborn. And as you can see, you know, really there's no space for even a luxury item like the Shrunken Head, or as in like the Polity, because Shrunken Head is a must on this team. And they now know that there is... what the hell is this guy doing? You can't stun Congo with Ball Lightning. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But never mind. That's okay. They know that there is no Pestilence, and that's why that's one of the main reasons that they have decided to pick a fight on the Kongor. This is the best moment to just take the Token of Life, and this would definitely help them in fact, might even get them a tier 2 tower, or maybe even the tier 3 if they just nicely push this. I'll rather want to make this happen that way, because you know, it's one of those moments that is very important for aMQ, but because of the illusion from Pestilence spotting them out, they're gonna call it quits, and we'll leave Kongor at about 60% health points, and we'll just fall back. But really, there is no need for that. If they got that Kongor, it would be really big for aMQ, because it just walked straight up into the game where, you know, they are completely comfortable in a mid game, and that's something in a mid game, and that's something that is very strong for them.
Yeah, but at the same time, the thing is, the Legion team, they could actually jump in, because Bubbles has Portal Key already, and he's actually working towards finishing a Closure Sheepstick as well. They definitely would have lost that team fight, the Hellborn team, I believe, if they were to stay in Kongor right there. So it's actually a good decision by them to actually rotate around. Hammerstorm is,
of course,
is actually getting fairly close to picking up the Shrunken Head, so that's gotta be a very nice item pickup for him. Moon Queen is just accelerating his farm up and up and up towards the good almost 500 gold per minute. It's actually not that high in my opinion, but seeing as to how it's only 28 minutes in, it's still pretty decent. Seeing as to how his at the early start he had a very, very tough lane as well, had to be forced out. He does have Firebrand now. When he has Geometer's Bane, he can go for things like a Rift Shard, or even just finishing up the what's it called, the Symbol of Rage. The Symbol of Rage would be a very, very nice.
Pestilence actually spotting on the hack here, forcing her to just flash ray. Is he able to just catch her? I don't think so. But yeah, you're right. Symbol of Rage is going to be really big on this Moon Queen, but what just really got Firebrand?
Just farming so fast. And Wretched Hag going for the Shrunken Head before finishing the Grim of Power.
Don't agree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that. But in this kind of situation, it seems like it's slowly working for them, because he's at least going to be able to pick up his Blessed Orb soon in about 500 more gold. And the thing is, Legion team is not making any aggression because they have a Moon Queen. So in a sense, it does kind of at least work out for them in the end. And Revenor is also Revenor is also farming himself over at the Ancient, so he's doing a pretty decent job himself. He hasn't had the best farm in this game, but he's slowly reaching there.
Yeah, that's gonna be a Mystic Staff pick up by the Bubbles. By the way, it's really sad right now the way things are going on for aMQ, because they got spotted out at Kong by the illusion on the Pestilence, and that alone is a big deterrence. If they didn't get spotted out, I do believe that they would definitely get a lot more advantage in this game. But again, really, the Grimoire power is something that would work very well with the hack for sure. But going for the Shrunken Head, I mean, you have to really remember that they're working out against the clock here, against a Moon Queen that's just farming insanely. And I mean, she's just made up a lot of her farm that she got shut down in the early game. She does have about 465 GPM, and is in fact leading this entire game. So they are working against the clock. That's number one. And number two, if they do play this on, there's already 3 members on Team Legion that's already got Shrunken Head completed. aMQ is in a tough spot right now.
Yeah, they really are. Culture Sheepstick, I think it's already completed by
No, it's not.
Bubbles.
It's not. No, it's not. I don't think so. Maybe 800 gold behind, 700 more. But he
Okay.
does have the Mystic stuff, but not yet. It's
Yeah,
in the
and
bank.
yeah, and no, Magnus is just. I think he wants to pick up a kill Bubbles, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Even if the Hag's going to come in, there is support from Legion team somewhat nearby in that Pestilence. You see again, Hag just gonna try to back off. They know that they can't take this right now. Magnus is trying to stay in the vicinity, but I do believe he will not be able to kill this Bubbles. He actually goes for a shrunken head of his own, just to have that ability to like maybe even just portal key in, use a bunch of stuns, and then just stand in a team fight. Okay, maybe they might pick up a kill here onto Bubbles. He needs to be careful. Here we go.
There we go. The big bad blast gonna happen quickly, and Bubbles not in a lot of trouble. But with the takeover and the Song of the Sea, seems like that pot also gonna happen. But maybe a deny doesn't happen there. But here comes Enduring Reen, and the stun is not gonna connect onto Wretched Egg because of the Shrunken Head. So that's gonna be really protective. And the main reason both of them have the Shrunken Head really is to just make sure that, you know, if they get a kill, they just quickly pot away, and that would be the main rationale for there.
Yeah, definitely, and that was a really good team fight for them, or gank I should say, because that secured Hag's Grim of Power now. Yes, he had to use one charge on the Shrunken Head and a Bad Blast, but it was worth it, because now he's gonna do even much more damage. Now he needs to build up on more right-click auto attacks, because he needs to be able to fight against this Moon Queen and burst down Pestilence as well. Maybe even a Frostwolf Skull would be good to kind of kite down this Pestilence, like transition from a Frostwolf into something like a what is it, Savage Mace. So that would be very, very good for him. Magnus definitely needs a Culture Sheepstick, Shrunken Head also on Revenor. So like Hellborn team, they have a lot of good items for themselves as well, because that's 3 Shrunken Heads onto their team, onto their Tricore there. The Magnus, the Wretched Hag, and Revenor. I guess not really a Tricore, more of a dual core over there. But on this Legion team, also Moon Queen and Pestilence have those items, but I do believe Pestilence is going to be picking up onto a Shield Breaker soon, and that's going to be a very huge item pickup for him, especially once they pop the Shrunken Head, throws out a Swarm, auto attacks him to death instantaneously, because it's going to do so much damage. Yeah, so the Shield Breaker, like I mentioned, finally finished up onto Pestilence. It's going to be a very, very good deal there for him. It's going to look towards finishing that up, and then could probably even go for a Culture Sheepstick of
meanwhile, top lane jungle is going to be a little bit of a gang there, but Moon Queen lucky is going to be run away because of Shrunken Head port. So that's going to be one charge on the Shrunken Head, but that really doesn't matter. It's going to be worth it because up against this complete aggression from Hellborn. But now they know she's got all the items that she has. She's got Chomeda's Vein, she's got Shrunken Head, and they know that things are not working out well for them. Now aMQ in a lot of trouble. One is to zero this game. They need to make sure that they as in this series, they need to make sure that they at least take one game to make sure that, you know, they at least maintain the spot with impunity of even if they couldn't knock them off the third place.
Yeah, I mean, this game in general is very important for both these teams. Magnus, you see, he just purchased his Breastplate Orb, so definitely gonna go for that Culture Sheepstick soon. Legion team, let's see, item pickups, nothing much just yet on most of the Legion heroes. Of course, Bubbles died a little bit earlier there, so he doesn't have the Culture Sheepstick just finished yet. Hammerstorm, I'd like to see a portal key on himself also. Like, having a much more initiation would be really good. He could even probably go for something like a what's it called? Storm Spirit for support for his team. If he so chooses to do so, can even go for a Tablet Command if he wants to, but Vicious is already working on his own. Like, I always am a huge advocate of getting as much tablets as possible, because you imagine you tablet a teammate out from a lodestone stun, but he gets slowed from something else, or gets stunned from like Magnus. You just push him again, he gets keep push. That there's really no way you're gonna be able to catch him down. Pestilence, I think he picked up level 2 Shieldbreaker? No, okay, still it's level 1, so he's just gonna wait for that level 2 and then pick it up, unless he's saving for buybacks, because this Legion team, not this Legion, the Hellborn team can have by all means fight them. Oh, nice port away. Fight them as well at the same time. They might take a Kong, so that buyback is going to be very important. Right now, Bubbles doesn't have one, but he has the Culture Sheepstick, so that's a very good item for them.
Yeah, Bubbles going straight up for the supportive route. That's very respectable, and one of this main important factor is that Moon Queen is just using Illusion like from Chomeda's Vein to nicely deal a bit of cheat damage onto the tier 2 there. Completely legit, but a little bit cunning, if you ask me.
Yeah, it seems that way. Cunning is I think cunning is more of like an overstatement in my opinion.
Maybe not cunning, but cheap, dirt cheap.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Chip trick. It's a chip trick off the old book, but really, 35 minutes gonna be up. 12 is to 10 here. 6k goal lead for Team Legion. ImpE of looking really good walking to late game. The problem with them really is that they're just buying their time and they're just happy, and that really by itself is not a big problem. Pestilence does has level 3 shield breaker, by the way, and that's gonna be big, so that means no buyback, and this could be the good time to try and push down Legion team. But aMQ, man, if they fail the next 2 push, they're done.
Yeah, most probably. Even if they lose Kong as well, I think they're also done.
Unless of course, Revenor plus the hack can put something out in the late game, or unless they really just bait out the Shrunken Head and wait for Legion to expire, and then after that make a bam, big comeback. But that again is too hard to play.
Yeah, and you also have to take note, like, Moon Queen is doing so much work. If you saw over there, the middle tower, he actually just uses illusions to clean that up, not his real hero. Like, that's the power of Moon Queen with the Lunar Glow ability. Just has the ability to just go anywhere, use his illusions, just push down, slowly push down, but eventually still destroy the tower while you're always taking team fights. So even though he's not at the like not at that lane, he's
and doing rain, he doesn't have the poly key, and now it's gonna get nicely stunned, and he's in a lot of trouble. Maybe the Shrunken is gonna be popping up really soon, and that means that he can run away, but may not be for long though. And the Bug looks to run away with the help of the rest of his teammates, maybe, but with the Grimoire of Power, it seems like there might be a little bit of a death potential coming for that. But it seems like they just changed target to try and chase down the bubbles instead, for reasons I don't know myself.
Yeah, that was very, very clutch and very, very close.
They just got tempted by bubbles. We want soup, and they tried to go for bubbles. Like, what the hell, man?
But I mean, even then, they weren't in the best position to really blink onto the Pestilence after that. So getting sidetracked. So this which is really, really regrettable from their point of view. But of course, I think they saw a Behemoth. Yeah, Behemoth's Heart completed a Moon Queen. So Moon Queen wants to be able to stay in team fights. His next item just needs to be that Symbol of Rage, and then can go for a straight up Butterfly, or if he wants to just forsake that, go for even something like the Rift Shards. Like, he just needs to stand, auto attack, right click, use ultimate, and yeah, that pretty much ends up.
You can play the hero with 300 ping.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's easy gaming here right there. You don't need much in order to really play Moon Queen. But of course, don't get me wrong. In competitive play, it really does come down to your positioning and a whole bunch of other stuff.
We're just kidding, but that's just how ridiculous Moon Queen can be in the late game of this, and in the late stages of this game. So 38 minutes gonna be up really soon. Almost 10k gold lead already. Just escalated really quickly because of Moon Queen's farm. The way she melts down an entire creep wave is really, really remarkable. And that being said, there's also an Ice Brand on Revenor. Maybe not 2 engagement, just one big team fight. If Hellbomb blows it, they're done. But again, you just see Geometer Bane in complete full effect here. All 3 of them, in fact, with all 2 illusion plus the main thing, dealing a lot of damage. And in fact, it's gonna be able to knock away the defense tower in less than 40 seconds. Wow.
That's the power of Geometer's Mage Bane, Moon Queen. And the thing is, that Behemoth's Heart is such a good item pickup, because now he can send his illusions to the top lane while he takes his team fight. Maybe it's not as ideal, but if the situation calls for it. Oh, he just finished the Symbol of Rage, by the way. If like the situation calls for it, he just sends his illusion at the top lane. Creeps will not be able to kill them because they have a Behemoth's Heart. Tower will be slowly dishing damage to them, but they'll be doing a lot of chip damage to the tower while he's taking a team fight.
I'm gonna say this before this, unless something changes my mind, I'm gonna say that Anduin Reen is my MVP for this team. But we hold that thought a little bit, because now Ratchet is gonna get hexed out by the bubbles, but the Shrunken is gonna come up by all means there, and it's gonna be a great cancel on One's uses Eruption. Not that it really matters because everyone's magic immune anyway, but it's just gonna try and chase onto the bubbles there. Even the ball is gonna miss because of the deck cover, and that's gonna be fine. Anduin Reen is also gonna be fine. But back to my point. I'm just gonna say this because I think that Pestilence is my MVP for this game. Simply because you saw how aMQ was dominating the bottom lane, completely dominating the Moon Queen. And because of the constant harassment and rotation from the Pestilence, both top, bottom, both top and mid, all the way in the early stages of this game, he made sure that Team Hellborn had the ability to just pull back all the way, and they didn't have any more spaces, or rather, chances to catch the Moon Queen, except for a little bit of opportunity here and there in the Legion jungle. But that's about it, man. And look at the amount of farm that Lucky has because of that. 629 GPM. This Moon Queen failed. This Moon Queen failed in the first 10 minutes of this game. 10 whole minutes of doing nothing. 10 whole minutes of relegating to the jungle. And going up to the top lane at level 5 against a level 7 and hold that top because now Revenant Roy's gonna get taken out really quickly by Zarina Tara for reasons I don't know again. But Rom 2 must have... Yeah, that should be that should be Rom 2's man, but that should be his kill, but that's fine. And again, no chances for analysis, but a quick hack's gonna happen on Irene, and all Shrunken are gonna be popped off all sorts here, and maybe Rom 2 looking to go down. This could be bad. Here he goes down. Shadow Stomp is gonna be wasted, but that's okay. And Wretched goes in for a kill onto that Glacius. That's again okay, but where is the Moon Queen, guys? The Big Daddy is not around, so maybe you can mop up Team Legion, but again, that's only going to be Zarina Tara as well as Pestilence. Pestilence looking for a little bit of kill potential on the hack, maybe, but that cool drop is being used, but the Moon Queen is here all the time, and the amount of push potential onto both Rexes is just really insane. Shrunken Head to just make sure that she gets it, and she's also going to run away.
Yeah.
They are going to need Savage Maze to stop Moon Queen now.
Yeah, he is just insane right now. He's sitting on so much HP that you can't deal damage against him. Plus he has Symbol of Rage. He's gonna suck his life back faster than you can even say anything. By the way, the thing is like while they were taking that team fight, they only lost both supports, Glacius and Hammerstorm. You know you're in dipshit when you're only able to kill off like the dual supports coming up from this Legion team when you're using when you're expelling most of your ultimates, like the Energy Field, the Shatter Storm. Those are two quite huge ultimates that you need for a next team fight. Again, you see Moon Queen throwing his illusions again middle lane. Look at how quickly they destroy the creeps, and they're not taking damage. Look at that. Like,
not because Symbol of Rage just regenerates the health points.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just so insane. Like, I mean, not the Symbol of Rage, just the Behemoth's Heart is like healing the, illusions. So
do illusions lifesteal? I don't think so, right?
They don't lifesteal.
Yeah, so it has to be the Behemoth's Heart.
That Behemoth's Heart is doing a lot of work for his illusions. Glacius surprisingly still doesn't have his Tablet of Command just yet.
She was going for Assassin Shroud.
I don't agree with that.
I
mean,
agree.
I guess it's okay because he does kind of need some mobility in team fights, so that he doesn't get locked down too much. They're gonna be forced to like buy a whole bunch of like wards. Okay, no, they do have an eye, so they are slightly prepared for top lane though.
Yep, top lane right now. It seems like it's gonna be an easy kill again on Only Juice, and that's the Magmas. That's okay. And looking at about 43 minutes in this game, 15 to shove. Yes, the kill count may not show it, but 17,000 goal advantage. And I completely disagree with the Assassin Shroud. I think that now Moon Queen will not have much of an attack damage. Of course, she does have 300 damage nonetheless, but I feel that maybe if she goes for something a little bit more additional, like the Rift Shot, that's going to be really easy gaming for her. And here comes the Pestilence. The Buck's going to be looking for a quick all key with the Impale, but doesn't get the kill there. So maybe doesn't even land it on the hack, so that's okay.
Yep, but you see Moon Queen, like, with this kind of lead, he can actually practically go for any last final item. He's gonna go for Genjuro. Genjuro is okay to deal a lot of damage and kind of like slow down the heroes coming up from the Hellborn team. So, like, it's kind of...
The Moon Queen in play again now, hold that top bit, because now the tier 3 is going to be challenged there, and the Keg is going to connect. This could be big. This is a big mistake, but it doesn't... aMQ just not milking on them, and now Moon Queen, the raid boss, the granddaddy of them all, looking to just make a lot of havoc in the Hellborn base, and the rest of his teammates are not even coming in until now, and they mop up aMQ. Lucky gets double tap. It may even get a hat trick if this goes on, but aMQ just not going to come out here, and maybe they are also looking to go in, and there's a great eruption, Bad Blast also, but it does nothing to the Moon Queen. Lucky is gonna be fine, above 50% health point. We're gonna melt down. That's a hat trick, maybe a quad kill even onto the Magmas. That's a quad kill. Do we have Annihilation? No, we don't, because the game is done. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the second game for Impunity of, and they don't really care, but they did win themselves 3 points straight up for this entire series. Really great game by Impunity of.
Yeah, that was insane gaming coming from Impunity Earth. That game actually was very fun to cast because it was slightly back and forth in the middle part of it. I mean, there was still that the whole feeling that Impunity Earth was still in front and they had the advantage. But the thing is, they weren't like making action. They weren't taking team fights. It was kind of looking at a point almost like Hellborn could come back into it, but they kind of gave off a couple of kills over at the bottom side where they lost the Revenant and then lost someone else as well. It didn't end up into a push, but that kind of like shook the confidence, I feel, for aMQ over there. at the final stages of
Yeah.
that game. But yeah, either ways, aMQ they played it hard. They tried their best. There was the culture sheepstick pickup on the best feeder. It didn't really translate into much because the rest of his supporting cast members, they didn't have items, they didn't have anything that could really help out. So it's just unfortunate that they couldn't what do you call this, pick up on something to to work with. So either ways, Impunity Earth, um very well deserved victory there.
Yeah, very well done. And in general, really, like I mentioned, of course, a lot of credit will go all the way out to this big Lucky. Great Moon Queen. He did, after all, have a lot of opportunity to just go and farm and stuff like that. But ultimately, I feel Andrew Rin did a lot of work. It really is a lot of work all over the place. He was ganking. He was making sure that they couldn't pressure Moon Queen more. And I feel that aMQ was a little bit off tangent today. I mean, they were a little too greedy with the draft. A lot of AoE there, yes, but they didn't really milk it out. Even towards the end of this entire series, you saw, as in this entire game, you saw that they had the execution potential, but nothing really transpired from that. They should have done that way early in this game. They had a lot of push potential. There was a point in time in this entire game that both me, and I believe I can speak for you also, Lark, that both me and you thought that aMQ may actually have this well under the belt until Moon Queen completes the Shrunken Head out of nowhere. It seems like his dad just passed him cash and like, oh, thanks, Dad. Shrunken Head, thank you. But
Yeah, exactly.
what the hell? They're really just printing money like the Federal Bank. Lucky.
I get that Federal Bank reference, but yeah, that was really that was like the turning point in the game when that shining ray of light, that hope that suddenly came down on Impunity Earth. It was like wing. Yeah, that's when they knew that they were definitely
Yeah.
back into the game. But yeah, at the start it really looked like it was gonna go into aMQ's favor because everything was going the way. The tri lane was winning, middle lane was
yeah.
kind of winning, top lane was actually top lane wasn't winning in my opinion. Almost like
they
it was
lost
kind
the
of
top lane, but that's okay.
yeah.
They got the mid, they got the bottom. I thought that they actually had the game until mid, something just changed there. And of course, when I say change, it's because Glacius rotated there, and Magmus had a little bit of a tougher time against a range hero, and that's okay. But in general, Andrew Rangers had a lot of fun because of that main reason. So in PDF, they were just completely adaptable. They know that the bottom tri lane is gonna fail. So they just moved away the Glacius and subsequently gonna switch around the lanes completely. Have the Glacius, the Moon Queen and the Hammerstorm at the top lane for a short while, and have Enduring Rin again gonna just farm out the middle lane, plus the fact that you also have the bubbles going down to address the Revenant. So I mean, that switch around just worked a lot for them, because down south it's level 5 Revenant against a level 8 Bubbles, and all the way up north that's only a level 6 Hack against a level 5 Moon Queen. So it's pretty good a shift around, if you ask me.
Yep, definitely, 100% agree with her. That shift in movement in the middle lane was what freed up space for Moon Queen to farm in jungle without much issues from Hellborn team ganking. Hellborn team actually didn't make the best decision in terms of like the rotation of their heroes. They were like going top lane first for like some weird reason, when there was really no need to. Because Moon Queen was in the jungle, they could have just forced more aggression onto the Moon Queen, force him completely out of his own jungle, out of his lane, force him to move top, and then rotate top as well. Like, wherever you go, I go, and I'm just gonna, be as pesky as possible and, screw around with you. But in the end, he found the space, found the Shrunken Head, opened up more space for the rest of his teammates. Bubbles got farm, he got the cool sheepstick, and it worked out in the end for Impunity Earth.
Yeah, so that's big. That's completely big there. And Impunity Earth, really, their adaptability, they just won themselves this game because of that. And also the fact aMQ, I mean, it's a little bit sad to see, because Impunity have, before Kanashilak joined them, they had a lot of trouble fighting aMQ, the old squad of aMQ, and that's with Spiky Melon. I do believe Imba Carl was also part of that, and that was DreamHack Summer Qualifier when Impunity eventually won with Kido as well as Shui in their team. But without those two, even with those two, they had a lot of trouble fighting against aMQ, and that's really old news already. But today, Kanashilak joined them, and it's like the missing piece that they need somehow. And also the fact that aMQ, it's a little bit sad that Spiky Melon decided to move away from this game, and they are, well, it's still the old squad with new names, but they are a little bit struggling because they don't have the carry role that is nicely assured. If it's like if Kanashilak decides to join aMQ for reasons I don't know myself, then they can have CY and the Suicide, and that could be another strong recipe for success. So they need to make sure that they find a good carry to just make sure that you know, CY. I mean, I personally have a huge respect for CY. I've seen him play Bubbles, and I know that he works very well as a Suicide perspective. So it's a bit sad that he has to fill in for the carry, and ever since then, they don't have a very strong Suicide to work with. I mean, it's one of the reasons that they failed the first game anyway. So that's the way I feel. It's a bit sad.
Yeah, I have to kind of agree with you there. Really not much else to be said, but
Yeah.
yeah, just really well played by Impunity Earth and aMQ. They tried to bring the game, but just couldn't. I mean, aMQ over time they will, once like you said, once they get that solid carry in their team and they're able to build up some experience and by playing together, they have a lot of chance to be a decent team. I mean, they have still a lot more to go, a lot more games to play through. Like there's still Cycle 4 of Green HoNTourSEA, so yeah.
Yeah, I really respect, really respect aMQ because I thought that they just formed themselves out of nowhere after HoN Portal, and I feel that they've got a lot of potential going in. And if they do hear this, it's a shout out for you guys. It's again me, myself, and I can speak only so much for myself. I can say this on behalf of the entire crew, but I feel that you guys have a lot of potential and that you should really get your act together, man, and do the best that you can. This is shout out for you guys. And me, no, Impunity, I'm just glad that you got lucky at. No pun intended. Yeah, you got Kanashilak, and I feel that that's good. And the fact that I also support Impunity. I do. Both of these teams, I've got huge respect for them, and I feel that Impunity should be well on the way into the playoffs because of today's matches. And do note, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of side news: Rocket Air Quality has won Tether Masters. So that's gonna make sure that Tether Masters race to the playoffs is gonna be even harder after today.
Yeah, that's insane. Wow. So RAQ doing work. I didn't really expect
Good work
much
there
from that team. I think they're still fairly new, if I'm not mistaken.
They are there. They just came up to this. No, they are good in as in the Thai scene knows them pretty well because it's a Thailand team, but the rest of this world, no. And I do believe that they just came up to the G League, so they're gonna need a little more time before they get familiar here and stuff like that. But even the debut into the G League may not be as great as to Y, going all the way up to the second spot in the entire table, but they are still at position 7, as you can see nicely on the screen right now. And that being said, man, aMQ is going to be standing at 21 points after today, and Tether Master will not catch up. So the only question is MRR. Have they won both games? If they have, then they are going to the 4th spot, and that means that they are so much closer to the playoffs. And I'm gonna have to check that for you guys. But before we carry on here, a little bit of a short announcement that we're gonna announce. We will be casting the next few, as in the rest of today, round 12 matches tomorrow afternoon. Maybe we'll bring you one extra series, and that should be the MRR game, since Tether Masters game was covered by Garena HoNTourSEA, by both Abstract and ISS Baby. Great job there. So we might be able to bring you that MRR match, and that's MRR will face off against Stab Gods today. So I mean, Stab Gods is a team that has been fluctuating, so we don't really know what happened there, and I will be keen to bring you guys that series tomorrow afternoon. Also, we'll be live almost every day, in fact every single day, and we'll be live I think from 2 PM all the way up to midnight, way past midnight. Yesterday we were up all the way to morning, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And do stay for a little bit extra Reef Wars and community building stuff. You can also join us to play Shockpig and the other fun moods. We can also play TMM, normal FOC. It really depends, and we hope you guys enjoy that. That being said, man, any last words, Lark?
Yes.
Before I kill you.
I would like to plead not guilty in this charge of no. But yeah, I'm just gonna say my normal shoutouts, big shoutouts to all the fans who are always tuning into Epic Gaming Television as well as Garena HoN in general, and of course shoutouts to EGTV crew, family and friends, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to my girlfriend first in case I forget about her again. Also gonna shout out to the entire EGTV crew. Thank you guys for always bringing us coverage, and also thank you for playing a lot of Rift Wars with me. We'll be bringing a lot of extra stuff on Epic Gaming Television. We hope you guys will enjoy that as well. We've got a really interesting mini game. In fact, it's called I can't say that here. Sorry. It's called just gonna keep it as a surprise. It's gonna start its premiere debut next week, Monday, and we hope you guys will be able to catch that. That being said, I'm also gonna shout out to Fantasy, who's absent today, as well as Golf
Oh, yeah.
XXX. Hi, good to see
Same.
you again, as well as the rest of you guys. Thank you for supporting. For the rest of this week, I do believe that me and Lark is gonna be here on EGTV. We would really appreciate if you can just tell your friends about the stream and about the coverage that we are providing for whatever tournament that is gonna be around in the Southeast Asian region, as well as the fact that we are personalities from time to time. So we are hoping to build up a community to follow us and to bring you guys coverage and games and events and more tournaments and stuff like that. So only with your support we can have that accomplished. If you like our stream and cast, do follow us on Facebook as well as on YouTube. We have both links below the channel page already. And last but not least, if you really like us and want to just support us through a very physical and realistic way, you can always donate, and we'll use the donation to set up our first production studio. Of course, that's going to be maybe 6 months later, because the amount of donation that we take, we don't expect to take a lot, but every single dollar does go a long way. So we hope you guys can support us there. That said, the last shout out is going to go out to all the viewers and fans. Thank you for playing Reef Wars, and thank you for supporting us. We started EGTV Reef Wars project yesterday, I do believe, officially, or maybe before I came back. But now on our channel, we've got about 30 plus people following every single now and then. So we hope you guys will be able to just swing by, have a fun game, have a fun moment. You can always stay in the chat. We'll be We'll be streaming Reef War after this, and we'll be back with that soon. This is Babael, and with me is Lark. You're just watching HoNTourSEA GLX Cycle 3, and this is round 12. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, for round 13. And just 3 more days, man, and HDS Cycle 3 is done. It's in the round stages. We hope you guys will be able to stay with us for Reef Wars later. Have a nice little break. The stream will be taken off, and we'll be back very soon. See ya.
See ya. 안녕.